Now let's look at sitting. Which chair or couch designs encourage good or poor posture? And what can be done about those darn car seats that shove you into a crevice and force your head forward? More on that later. When sitting on a correctly designed seating surface, your muscles will be relaxed because they are in the right position to support the weight of the body against gravity, while using as few muscles as possible. When the correct design is missing, your head and pelvis have to adjust to maintain balance and support the weight of the body. The ideal chair would A, have the back of the seating surface slightly higher than the front, as if sitting on a wedge, and B, a relatively upright back. This would provide a proper foundation to hold the spine up with little to no effort, putting a proper curve in the low back, and also preventing the lowest lumbar vertebrae from being pushed forward. It also allows the chest to be up and for the ribs to take in deep breaths without the hindrance of a slumped rib cage. Here's another life hack or solution if you have a chair that prevents this proper posture. If the chair is narrow enough, or if you can find another simple chair, wrap your legs around the outside of the front of the chair legs and bringing your calves and feet under the chair. Try this on a simple folding chair. You will notice your back straightening out and your body becoming more upright. A much better alternative to slumping and developing a back or neck pain problem. Or if you can lean the chair back while at the same time bringing your feet up. Even bringing your feet up a little bit will take most or all of the forward push off the low back. Seat wedges are the best way to correct car seats. Since you move around a lot in a car with limited space, a towel along the back of the car seat would simply get bunched up constantly and be annoying. There is more to know about how to set up a seat wedge in a car specific to your body height and type of car, and I'd be happy to explain this in the clinic or by email. And for my patients, I personally set it up with you in the parking lot. More on car seats later in this video. By the way, once you own and use a seat wedge and bring it with you to places, you'll never want to be without one again. You can even give yourself or your friends and family a demonstration. Breathe deeply in a chair while sitting on a seat wedge. Then breathe deeply in the same chair without one. That seat wedge is likely going right back on that chair. Using a towel along the back of your office or home chair works well because they tend not to get bunched up, as in a closed car seat environment. After all this advice, however, not everybody's spine does well in a well-designed chair or a seat wedge corrected chair because they are stuck in the accumulated compensations which prevent them from having the normal shaping, flexibility, and alignment of the spine. So the answer is, get your body unwound so that your comfort and energy can come back to amazing levels, even with sitting. Yet another way of looking at this is, if the sitting surface of a chair, armchair, couch, car seat, or airplane seat is lower at the back, as many of them are, leaving the knees higher than the pelvis, it will force the entire spine to be rounded and pushed forward at the lower end. Have you ever wondered why you developed headaches while sitting down? The chair was not correct, so the hips dropped down and the head leaned back. The head's position simply shortened the muscles, causing them to tighten and spasm. And the added pull on the inside of the spine, the brain and the brainstem and spinal cord, can constrict normal blood flow to the brain. And worst of all, in terms of long-term consequences, Spinal vertebrae are going to shift forward, causing all sorts of compensations thereafter, and then chronic back and neck problems ensue. Car seats are almost all badly designed, and this is particularly bad for your structure, as you are constantly stopping and starting while being held in a forced forward position. The reason for the current bad design is because car design has gone from blocky Model Ts with lots of headroom and vertical sitting to cool forward cab designs into which human bodies have to be squished. Yet another way we have lost our way from the basics and fundamentals of healthy living. In addition to your hips sinking below your knees in most car seats, the headrest pushes the head forward. In the case where this happens, you'll need to take out the headrest and reinsert it backwards. However, I must provide a disclaimer here that if you are in a car accident, your danger of whiplash in the neck will be much greater. But the much lessened tension on your nervous system will help you pay attention more in traffic. I'm sort of kidding, but actually that's a real anatomical fact. In an attempt to deal with improper car seat design and what that does for natural comfort, car manufacturers have installed internal lumbar supports in the chairs to compensate for the lowered hips. This simply pushes the bones forward in the mid-back. Have you ever been on a long trip, a trip with your lumbar support cranked up and got out of the car really stiff? Your body was already starting to twist tighter in compensations as the miles wore on. So why add complexity to confusion when you can simply set the seat for a natural and good posture from the start? Lumbar support in and of itself is not a bad thing, as long as the seat is raised at the back first, without tall people losing too much upper visibility, and then filling in the space behind the lower back with the lumbar support, without any significant pushing on your lower back. As for couches, the same general idea is true. A lumpy or soft couch or sofa provides no support and encourages a rounded back and forward head. This is very self-evident. An easy test for whether a sofa is incorrectly designed is whether it is difficult to arise from it. Do you easily pop up off of it, or does it take a lot of effort with your arms simply to get to a standing position? Now try this again after sitting on something firmer or putting a small pillow behind your low back. If you have a favorite couch, the cushions of the couch can be refilled with a supportive latex foam. This is going to take a bit of cost, but it's worth it, especially if you have a really nice home theater set up. Another test for seats in general is whether your body is under strain, aching, stiff, shallow breathing after sitting a prolonged period of time, such as during office or computer work, or when driving or flying. These are the same indicators as I covered in my previous videos as well. Keep in mind that not all sitting positions automatically throw your back and neck forward. If you have a lazy boy or reclining sofa chair, use it for reading instead of sitting in your bed. If you must read in bed, then lying on your side is much better, with a pillow supporting your head slightly above the horizontal. As with chairs and couches, very few shoes have been designed with proper posture in mind. Instead, foot comfort rules the day to sell shoes when trying them on in stores. This becomes important when we consider how long we spend standing, walking, and running each day, even in today's lessened active society. So, in the next video, Tilting the Heel Forward, we'll examine the 4 elements that add up to poorly designed shoes and knowing how to find the right ones. Many shoes can be fixed with low-cost additions, depending on the length of your foot, your overall spinal stability, and how far removed the shoes are from the proper design.